Hello. Hi, everybody. Um, Please bear with me because since my last time on here, everything is different. Um, I cannot see your comments. That stinks. Okay. Hi, I know there are two people here. Thank you for being here. The format is so different now. I'm trying to see where your comments are because they're so important. Let's go full screen. I am not a techno person, in case in case that's not obvious. Okay, well, it is what it is. Okay. Hi, everybody. While hopefully some other people are coming in, but I'm going to repost this later. I'm going to repost it here as a YouTube video. So before I say anything else, I would like to thank you, of course, again for stopping in, and also ask you that when you see this reposted as a YouTube video, please subscribe, please like and share, because it tells me that I should keep going. So your feedback is really important to me. What else do I want to say? Any housekeeping things? By way of introduction, my name is Lisa Woiditz. If you're here, you probably know me already. But I build on the work of my late mother, Dr. Janet Geringer Woiditz. She's known as the founder of the Recovery Movement for Adult Children of Alcoholics. I'm looking in the camera. Sorry, you keep looking down. My book, Unwelcome Inheritance, follows hers, trying to build on what I have learned over the years from all of you. We have lots of content to start to share with you, and I'm looking forward to working on a calendar for the fall, so that you all can know what's going on and when it's going to be happening. So, that said, let's jump in. I am here today because I promised somebody who sent me a note that I would post a video of some kind by the end of the week to answer their question. And the question has to do with finding a good support group that addresses the issues that adult children of alcoholics struggle with, but does not strongly suggest or require that one believe in a higher power, turn their will and their life over to a higher power, or a belief in God, or even spirituality as I guess a key component to recovery. So you know me, I have a lot to say about these things, and I'm going to break it down a little bit. And since I can't see your comments, let me just try one more time. I mean, I can't even see, like, guys can't even tell me where to find your comments. Okay, well, first time, I'll figure it out for next time. Anyway, so two parts to what I want to say to you today. Part one has to do with the idea of finding good support groups. Now, there are people out there that are really wonderful, really helpful, very knowledgeable, highly trained, and hopefully you are out there finding these people, therapists, etc., that you're finding helpful. In terms of a support group, ACA has support groups all over the place, but if you know anything about me, you know that I do not endorse ACA's support groups, and I don't recommend them. That said, that's my humble opinion for myself, and I'll tell you what my concerns are. But first, I want you to know that your process, your journey, your healing is up to you. You're the boss. You get to decide what's helpful, what's not. You get to decide what you need. Nobody out there, this is not a cookie cutter process. Everybody is unique, different, special, needs different things. So I say, please go and try everything you can think of that you think might be helpful, and take what you like and leave the rest. Go to ACA meetings if you want to, take what you like and leave the rest. But know that that is not the be-all and end-all. One word of criticism that I just can't help is that the manual that they used, if nothing else, is, I believe, over 600 pages long. You will never in your lifetime get through that, and I hate to think that anybody is so disturbed or pained that 600 pages is necessary. So, not to be belligerent, but I have to ask you the question, do you want to spend the rest of your life healing from your childhood? And I don't feel it's necessary, and I'm concerned about the message that is being sent, that this is a lifelong journey. I mean, in some sense it is, right? We are all growing, evolving, healing. Different aspects of ourselves that need to be healed come up as we live our life and as we are ready to address them. That's all fine and well. But I'm talking about this idea of people that are very hurt and having trouble finding healing, feeling that they are damaged goods, broken and can't be fixed. I want you to throw that all out the window. We have always said that this is a largely educational process. This is my mother talking right now. It's an educational process with a beginning, a middle, an end, and some tune-ups, right? And so, like the 12-step groups for addiction problems, you know, there's a part where we look at the past and we do what needs to be done to get the past into a perspective. And then we look at how that's all impacting us currently and moving forward into the future. So that is very similar. However, what I continue to see and be concerned about is the fact that, my humble opinion yet again, that being the adult child of an alcoholic is being seen and treated and viewed as a disease. Now, maybe you have an addiction problem, and that's certainly very, very important. But growing up in an environment where there is addiction, although you may have some addictive behaviors, that part of your history is not a disease. It's your history. It's a fact of where you come from. So applying the disease model to recovery as the adult child of an alcoholic, in my view, does not work. In fact, even the label adult children of alcoholics, although it puts everything very nicely into a context, I feel also that's a label that is not really productive, except to kind of explain in a nutshell an aspect of who you are. So that's what I have to say about support groups. I hate to talk about a problem without offering a solution. So I want to say that there's all kinds of support all over the place. Go find everything that you find joy in and healing. Just try everything you can think of. And in addition to that, I'm going to be hoping to offer not just kind of random videos on topics like I am right now, but also as we get rolling, I'll be offering possibly some ongoing group. Maybe it'll have a beginning, a middle, and an end, to be sure. It won't be a forever thing. Maybe 8 weeks or something like that. We could do Zoom groups. We can do workshops, retreats, things like this. Okay. So next topic. This person also talked about what I'm guessing is being uncomfortable around this concept of higher power, a belief in God, turning one's will and life over to the care of another entity as being essential, or some people may feel required, for healing. This is a topic that I have a lot of passion around. And to that end, because I wanted to be able to speak about this topic in my work with people in recovery, especially you all, I went out and became trained as a chaplain, because I wanted to have the proper knowledge and experience to be able to speak about this in a very informed way. So here is what I have to say about adult children of alcoholics and spirituality and recovery. Okay. First of all, like I've already said, the disease model being applied to adult children of alcoholics, I feel, is problematic, because addiction is a disease, and it's a disease that is kept in remission in different ways. Being the adult child and alcoholic is not a disease. It doesn't need to be in remission. And so while that aspect doesn't carry over completely, I do have a question for you around that. Okay? My understanding and in my experience is that there is a purpose for that belief, for having what some people call God or a higher power. And the purpose is support. So my question to you is, if spirituality or the topic of God, if none of that resonates with you, my question to you is, what do you believe? Because when we know what we don't believe, that doesn't tell us what we do believe, right? We might know how we don't feel about something, but how do we feel? So what is your belief system around what do you do if you become overwhelmed, for example? Now, somebody might say, well, I pray to God, or I turn it over to my higher power. But if this is not what you use, what do you do? What do you use? So, for example, you're feeling maybe very impulsive and not wanting to act on a certain behavior. You're feeling overwhelmed with emotion. You need guidance. You need support for some reason or another. What do you do? Who do you turn to? How do you handle that? And if you can answer those questions, in my humble opinion, then you've got it. You've got it. So what do you do? Do you call a friend? Do you hike a mountain? Do you go to some kind of therapy? What are the different things you do when you need that support around you, when you need that little extra? To add to that, there are 4 aspects of us, and this is part of what I've learned, and also this is my point of view, and take what you like and leave the rest, that there are 4 aspects to us that if one or more of these aspects are lacking in some way, then you might be suffering and you might be in need of some kind of support. So 2 of them are very tied together: the idea of hope and the idea of faith. And that doesn't have to do with God. Faith and hope have to do with the future. You know, do you believe that the future will be bright? Do you feel that things will be better today, better tomorrow, or in the future than they are today? What is your feeling about the future? And if we're not feeling hopeful and we don't have faith and hope that things will be well, or at least manageable, then that is, for many people, a cause of suffering. Love. If we feel unloved, if we feel unlovable, or if we have a lot of love to give and no one to give it to, which I just, somebody sent me something that said, I can't say it perfectly, but basically the idea is that when you have a lot of love to give to somebody and they're not there anymore, then that's what grief is, right? So if we are hurting in the love department, that's also a cause of suffering. And joy. If we don't have things, people in our lives, hobbies, interests, passions, purpose, if we don't have things in our life that bring us joy, that make us happy, then that also very often is a cause of suffering. So, back to the topic of tying this into spirituality, God, higher power. These are the aspects to me that I feel are covered by those things. And however you look at it, or whatever your belief system is as unique as every person is to one another. So, lastly, this person asked, they mentioned that they have found a couple of workbooks that might be helpful if they're willing to face the content that's in the workbook. I feel that together we can do what we cannot do alone. I feel that all of these different things, they can have a therapeutic effect, but then what? Then what? Where do we go from there? So I'm going to be working on that too. And if you know of any resources, I hope that you'll message me here or on YouTube or my other Facebook page or email or my website, lisasuewoiditz.com, etc. So that's what I have for today. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll be back on in the near future, and hopefully I will be able to see your comments and respond. If you could, though, under this video, I'm going to leave it up so that you could comment there, and I will respond to your comments either right there on the page or in another video. Okay? Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, and stay cool.